Welcome to University, a podcast for young people navigating life's big transitions. I am Annmarie, your host. On University, you'll hear stories from college students, you'll get tips from experts, and occasionally you'll hear from a parent's perspective on how to manage this time of change in your life consciously. Find yourself, find your purpose, find your people, and pursue you fearlessly. If you really knew me, you'd know I am in a major state of resistance today. And if you really knew me, you'd know I'm totally avoiding you. Yep, I've been avoiding recording this podcast, not just today, but all week. And I'm noticing that I'm in a major state of resistance. And I have this giant long list of to-dos, including recording this podcast, and I have zero motivation today. So I had a plan for what I wanted to record about, and I decided to just simply share with you what was actually going on for me rather than trying to record something that wasn't organically coming through me. And what I thought was interesting is this idea of resistance. I have literally spent the entire day and the last 2 days resisting recording this podcast and doing a whole bunch of other work. You know, we just came off of spring break. We got home late on Sunday night, and Monday I had a whole plan of what I needed to catch up from on the week before because I was out of town. And I noticed just having zero excitement, zero energy, zero passion, zero motivation. And I sort of trudged through the day and pushed myself to get a few things done. I've also been a little sick. And I got some stuff done, but I wasn't feeling really productive and I wasn't really excited about what I was doing. And as the days have gone on, I've gotten less and less productive. So here's what resistance looks like for me. When I have this no inside my mind that just doesn't want to do something and I push past it, when I have that it's different than I don't feel like doing this. It's more like giant slamming on the brakes. And I get into this place where I just dig my heels in and I don't want to show up and do my work. So what's it like for you when you lack motivation? What do you do when you don't feel like doing? What I noticed about myself is the first thing that occurs for me when I'm resisting doing is I resist my resistance. And what I mean by that is I won't allow myself to not do it. I push myself. I try and convince myself. I try and encourage myself. I try and come up with all these strategies. My mind starts going and pushing, and it feels really unfriendly. It feels stressful. So one thing I do is I resist my resistance. I fight it. I argue with it. I ignore it. Another thing I do is I push past it. I just try and do one thing. And what inevitably happens is I totally don't do it well. I'm not effective. It takes me much longer to do a task that I would do when I'm in a state of flow or excitement. I eat chocolate. One of the things I do when I lack motivation is I eat. I complain. I complain a lot. The other thing I've been doing a lot of is I've been going on Facebook and using social media. I've been drifting. I watch TV. I try and force myself to be productive, and I fail miserably. I judge myself as lazy. I worry. I stress about the future. I stress about tomorrow or the next day, or I stress about things piling up. I get angry. I ignore my needs. There's a million ways in which I drift and I ignore myself when I'm in a state of resistance. So I just kind of want to talk a little bit more to you about what's it like when you're not motivated. Because I know what happens to us all the time. And for me, one of the big lessons I've learned is when I am resisting, if I just allow myself to indulge the resistance for a little bit, if I indulge myself and rest, if I indulge myself and take a break, if I indulge the resistance, if I listen to it and pay attention to it rather than push against it, I inevitably end up way better off. And today, and the past couple of days, I've been unwilling to do that. I've been unwilling to give in to my resistance. I've been pushing past it. And what's resulted is kind of a crappy work week. Not very effective, not very in flow, not having a lot of fun. And the results of my efforts haven't been super great. I've been unfocused. I've been foggy. I've not been thinking clearly. I've been irritated and agitated. So here's what you maybe can do this week. If you're like me and you're lacking motivation, you're resisting whatever work you have to do, putting off studying for a test or not feeling like writing the paper, if you're just coming off spring break and hoping the end of the year is going to get here faster, join me in the practice of not judging your resistance. Just stop making your resistance mean anything. It makes sense to resist those things, but trust that your passion, your desire, and your excitement will come back, and just be there alongside with the resistance. Think of your resistance like a whining, crying baby or an annoying sibling. The more you control it or you attempt to get over it, the louder and the more annoying it becomes. The more care, compassion, tenderness, acceptance you give the resistance, the softer it gets. So I tell you what I'm going to do. Once I hit stop on the recording, I'm going to go downstairs, eat my favorite pizza, hang out with my family, watch a little TV, eat some more chocolate, and just veg. Allow myself to be in the state of resistance without judging it. And I know it's going to be awkward. It's going to be uncomfortable. It's going to be hard because I judge being in the state of resistance. I judge not being motivated. But see how easy it is to find your excitement again when you slip into a state of acceptance around your resistance, around your lack of motivation. Just find a little peace and see what happens. I'm looking forward to hearing more about your journey and catching up with you next week where we have a really great interview.
Thanks for listening to University. If you liked what you heard, I'd be absolutely thrilled for you to share with a friend, and equally grateful for you to pop over and rate and review on iTunes. It really helps. You can find more information and stay in touch over at university.u on Instagram or at University on Facebook. I'll look forward to seeing you there. If you'd like support navigating the stress and chaos, and you're ready to create a more fulfilling college experience, I offer live weekly group coaching calls every Thursday, 4 to 5 Central Time. It's a place to gather together, to be seen and heard, to reduce your stress and learn how to be in control of your life and create a life you love. Give the first week a try for free. Check it out. For more information, email me at annmarie.university@gmail.com or click the link in the show notes below.